Give you a little background on him. This is the shortest of the 4 New Testament books that tells about the life and teaching of Jesus, but it also the most action-packed. From the very beginning of his ministry, Jesus worked mighty wonders. After choosing 4 followers, Simon, Andrew, James, and John, he immediately performed many miracles of healing. Among those healing were a man with an evil spirit in him. Leave us alone. We know who you are. That's the devil telling Jesus. Simon's mother-in-law had a fever. Remember, he healed her. Crowds of sick people, disease, devils, and a man of leprosy. 2,000 pigs that drowned themselves. A woman bleeding for 12 years, and a young girl who died, and he resurrected her. You know about the pigs, right? The demons went in the pigs and went off into the water. Over and over, Mark tells how Jesus healed people, but always in such a way as to show that he did these miracles by the power of God. The religious leaders refused to accept Jesus. This led to a conflict that finally made them start looking for a way to kill him. But the demons saw the power of Jesus, and they knew that he was the Son of God, although Jesus would not let them tell anyone. Why do you think he didn't want them to tell anyone? Son of God. It's because some things he's going to do. Why do you think he didn't want to tell anyone? Huh? He was doing miracles. I think it might have been a problem. I think it might have been a problem with the Romans would have got in there and started doing some mess with them Pharisees. And I think it might have just caused an issue. Because his time was going to happen. I think he said, don't go tell nobody, because people get all talking about, oh, our king here in the Romans going to come and kill all of y'all. So just back off, because he said what? Until I tell you to, right? But the demons saw the power, came and looked at it. This book is full of miracles that amazed the crowds of Jesus' followers. But according to Mark, the most powerful miracle of Jesus is his what? Suffering and death. The first person to understand this miracle was a Roman soldier who saw Jesus die on the cross and said, this man really was the Son of God. Roman was the first one to realize it. Why? Because remember the rest of them ran and hid. Because the Romans saw that he was what? No doubt in his mind, they killed him. The Romans, no doubt in my mind, we killed this guy. So the gospel is widely thought to be the first one written. The many explanations of, well, I ain't going to get into this, about talking about speaking in their language. Words of the Jews, custom, Mark, suggest that Mark wrote Genesis in a non-Jewish Christian, meaning he wrote it in a language that other people can understand it. He also wanted to remind that the new life, he also wanted to remind that the new life of faith is not an easy life, and that they must follow Jesus by serving others and being ready to suffer as he did. He wanted to tell about Jesus and to encourage readers to believe in the power of Jesus to rescue them from sickness, demons, and death. The first followers of Jesus to discover the empty tomb were 3 women, and the angel told them what? Don't be alarmed. Why are you looking for the alive among the dead? So you see that the first person to realize Jesus was the Son of God was a Roman, Gentile. The first evangelist was what? 3 women. Because when they saw it, they ran and told them. And they said, no, y'all must be on something. You got a new book, sister? Yeah, right. Yeah, I got the books in. Okay. And we know Mark was well, I'm gonna get to that. I think we got to get enough background on what I just read. Okay, so today's let's start at Mark chapter 19, chapter 9, verse 14. But if something happened before that, anybody read what happened before that? 1 through 13. He had just came from Mount Transfiguration. He had these disciples with him, his buddies, and they had just saw him and what? Elijah and Moses. They just saw this. And they saw Jesus change. He saw him change. Similar, well, this is God now in the flesh. But when Moses saw God spiritually, remember he changed too. But this is God. Jesus was with God. Moses saw something that he had not seen before. So Moses had a glow on him also because he was in the presence of God. And Jesus had a glow on him because he was what? The Son of God. So they just got through seeing them. Moses and Elijah. They up there really freaking out. They scared to death. Wouldn't you? I mean, now there's something wrong with you, I think. But they seeing that Moses and Elijah is what? Alive. They had died what? Hundreds of years before. But Jesus was talking to them. And that's when God told him, what? Hear my son. Moses, you done what you had to do. Elijah, you done what you had to do. Now here's my son. You hear him. Because he trumped what? Everybody. Why do you think it was just Moses and Elijah? Get the mic. Go ahead. Here we go. Is it on? There you go.
Moses was the first prophet who led Israel, so he had a real close relationship with God directly. And Elijah was a prophet as well, and he walked with God as well. But Jesus...
Moses was the first prophet? Okay. I don't... Well, not because remember now Abraham had been called. Abraham been called. This after they've been what? In Egypt for what? 430 years. So there was something called. But I know what you're talking about. I know you're getting that. Go ahead. Go ahead, sis. You want to say something?
I was going to say that.
Well, Moses was the one who brought the law. He who God talked to, and he brought the law to establish what? Israelis as a nation. He brought the rules. So that's what he brought, the law. Elijah, remember Elijah wasn't killed. He's taken up. But in this, them saying Elijah, they wonder, well, they asked him a question, well, what's this Elijah then? He said, well, the end of the world coming. And Elijah must come back. And they said, well, and they didn't understand it. And Jesus told them that what? Who was John the Baptist? John the Baptist was Elijah. Jesus told him that. He said, if you can believe, John the Baptist is Elijah. That's the second time. It's the third time he's going to come too. He's going to come again with Moses in Revelation. So Jesus said, he don't been here twice. Next time he come, you're going to see me, you're going to see Moses, you're going to see Elijah. Because Revelation says something about they're going to be murdered or whatever. But I'm not going to get to that. But that's some of the things that was happening with some of his disciples. Some of them. Okay, now we're going to pick up where he ended up what? Seeing the rest of them. Verse 14. And when he came to his disciples, he saw a great multitude about them, and the scribes questioning with them. Now here he came down with his what? He had three guys that followed him, a little more than the rest of them. So he came down with them, and he said the scribes questioned His other disciples. Actually, well, they refer to it as an argument, but I would say question. It might have been an argument, but I think that language they used, I think it meant like they was debating. Okay? So they saw the crowd, because he had just come from Mount Transfiguration. A large crowd with scribes arguing with the remaining disciples. The teacher of the law, the scribes, these are smart guys, right? Were arguing with the disciples like regarding their inability to cast out the demon. Now, what has happened is these guys was trying to cast out the demon, Jesus' disciples, apostles, and they couldn't do it. So now they're getting beat up on. You can't cast out a devil. Now, you know they had done other things, but the Pharisees looked at this as a way to what? Start some mess. Okay? So they built not to cast out demons. So people were amazed and ran to greet Jesus upon his return. The 9 disciples had failed to cast out the spirit of this demon, of this little boy, right? Leading to an argument in the demonstrating of a lack of faith. So they saying, you ain't got all that power y'all thought y'all had, did you? So now they're looking at Jesus, right? But Jesus having to walk in on them in the conversation. You ain't nobody, y'all ain't nobody, y'all phony, they're getting beat up on. Lack of faith. Huh? Now remember, Jesus just came down with his other disciples. They don't know what's happening. They done walked into this, all these people beating up on him, his disciples. All right, let's go to verse 15.
And straightway all the people, when they beheld him, were greatly amazed and running to him, saluting him, greeting him.
Why do you think that might have been? They saw Jesus and all the crowd going to run to him. Why was they so greatly up? They said they were what? Greatly amazed. Why were they greatly amazed? You think because he had just left the presence of his Father, that he had this glow still on him that attracted them? Because they was greatly amazed. Amazed at what? Remember when Moses came down, he had that glory. Moses, you look at his face. Now Jesus don't talk with God and say that he what? He was glowing, and he still might have had that glow still on him that people can see it and ran to him because he looked different. It's amazed how he's looking, Because I don't think they was running to him to save the disciples. You know what I mean? I think they saw something else. I think they forgot about the argument right there because they trying to learn too. I think they saw something in Jesus from just seeing what? Being with our Father, his creator. So that ratchets us that might have been the divine look he had on him, right? Let's look at 16.
And he said, ask the scribes, what question ye with them?
Okay, read that again, brother, because I missed something.
It said, and he asked,
Okay.
what question ye with them?
Now, Jesus asked the scribes, right? A father brought his son who was possessed by a spirit, causing convulsion, foaming out the mouth, rolling all over the place, right? And the disciples couldn't do nothing. They couldn't cast him out. This is the guy Father talking about him. Your disciples couldn't cast out this demon in my son. Did the guy know it was a demon? He didn't really know. Just like us. Huh? But like us, sometimes everybody evil, somebody got a demon. Everybody ain't got no demon, they're just evil. Huh? Go ahead. Go ahead, sis. This is why we're here. Oh, yes, all of them are. But I'm saying that, he got a demon.
Say that's the spirit of God.
Joker ain't got no demon. He just evil. Demon ain't in there. Some people just evil. And when they evil, devil ain't worried about them. I ain't got to worry about him. He's doing his own work for me. Okay?
What stuck out to me in this sticks out to me in this verse is, and he asked the scribes, what question ye with them. What stuck out to me is he didn't go to the disciples and say, what they're asking you about. He didn't do that.
Mm-mm.
I'm going to the people who are asking the question.
Absolutely
You know,
right.
He was an authority. I'm an adult. I'm going to go to I'm going to go to the adult. I'm going to go to the people who are.
Why did he go to the scribes? Because they supposed to have been the law keepers. Scribes and the Pharisees were the peoples of the law, the educated one. He didn't go to what? This guy. No. I'm going direct to what?
I'm going to the source.
I'm going to the source. You guys, what are y'all asking him?
Correct. So,
When you do that, you see your son or you see your kid somewhere or something, and somebody, hey, hold up. Hey, what are you asking my son?
what you asking him?
Yeah.
Yes.
Daddy, no, hold up. What are you asking him? I want to know from the source, make sure he's getting it right, I'm getting it right. So he went right.
Oh yeah, minimize the he said, she said.
That's right. He went right to the
gossip and all
source.
that, go straight
Because
to
you know the Pharisees out after him anyway.
Yeah.
Because they want to kill him. So he went right there. What are y'all trying to do now? What are you asking him? What are y'all starting now?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's go to 17.
And one of the multitude answered and said, Master, I have brought unto you thee my son, which has a dumb spirit.
Okay, he brought him his son. The father said that, right? The father brings his son to Jesus, explaining the boy is possessed by an evil spirit. That makes him what? A mute. He can't do nothing. He can't breathe. He's possessed. This is the father saying. Okay, look at 18. Go to 18.
And whosoever he talk of him, he teareth him, and he foameth and gasped with his teeth, and penneth away. And I spake to thy disciples that they should cast him out, and they could not.
See what they called the devil? They called him a what? Him. Him.
Him.
He called him him. Cast him out. And we don't look at devils, sexual organ, all that. But they just refers to him as what? A man, him. Okay? Y'all with me?
Yes, sir.
Just like when God said you go to the other side, ain't gonna be no kids, whatever. But But they referred to him, he referred to the devil as couldn't cast him out. Because his name was what? Satan. Okay? So had the disciples cast out devils before? Had the disciples ever cast out devils before?
I think so.
You say no? Well, what about when Jesus? They have cast out devils. Both the 12 and the 70 were commissioned by Jesus to cast out devils. Remember, he told them to go out to the world?
Yes.
70 told them to go by 2.
Mm-hmm.
And he told them, the disciples, go do it. I'm giving you the power to do it. They had been doing it. They just ran into a problem with this one.
Yes, bigger than their normal.
You know what I mean? With this one. Because remember, Jesus cast out the ones in the swines and pigs. Jesus asked, what is your name? And they said, Legion. What do they mean by legion? Romans had legions, corps, like a division.
Right.
There's only a couple thousand of us in here. And Jesus went, because what? All the pigs, so they went to what?
To the ocean.
Each one of them went to pigs. So this says we call ourselves legion because there's a lot of us in this guy. And Jesus told them to get out. And they said, well, it ain't not time. He said, well, can we go in them pigs? They're going in them pigs. They went in the pigs. You follow me?
Mm-hmm.
Huh?
Jesus was like, I'm not calling you legion. Come out, you unclean spirit. That's exactly what it is, an unclean
Well,
spirit.
that's what they call themselves, legion. Because he said, who are you? And they said, we call ourselves legion. Jesus asked, who are you? Remember, he done things too so people can see. If he had done things without saying certain things, people wouldn't have got it.
Right.
You know what I mean?
He did
He had
things.
to do stuff so people can record this stuff later on. Remember, they didn't have a scribe doing nothing when it was too much happening. But he said stuff. And then when they got the Holy Ghost later on when he left, all this stuff brought back their memory.
And he had a
And
better
then they could write,
understanding.
oh yeah, Jesus asked, and then they recorded it later. They couldn't do it then. Too much going on. Fear. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Okay.
Gave him a better understanding.
Right. So remember, Jesus gave them authority to do that, cast out. So they could. All right, let's look at 19.
And he answered him and saith, O faithless generation, how long shall I be with you? How long shall I suffer you? Bring him unto me.
What happened here?
The gentleman that brought his son to him, he told him to bring him to him.
Yep. And who he said faithless generation?
His disciples.
Go ahead. You was going to say something. Okay.
The faithless generation was his disciples.
Yeah. Talking about all of them. All of them. Go ahead, sister.
So for verse 19, I have what I received from verse 19 is sometimes we see the extremes of a situation and question if a change can occur. The enemy presented a demonstration the disciples had never seen, and they doubted. So that's what I received from verse 19.
Okay. What he got upset about, they don't been with him a while. What he got upset about is their spiritual maturity hadn't grown like he said it should have grown. That's why I got a little upset with him. How much longer be y'all? Come on. Y'all don't see me raise people from the dead? You know, why? What's wrong? How much longer I got to teach you? Because I'm not going to be here forever. Not on this. He will be forever, but he's not going to be in the flesh with him forever, in the spirit, right? He's not. He didn't die. He just went back to where he came from. So he's upset. Why don't your spiritual level gotten better, grown some? Come on, you know. Y'all dealing with these Pharisees. Know they want to kill me. They didn't even understand that neither. They really want to kill us all. So he's upset with them. How much longer I got to stay with y'all? Now we got the Bible. He's still with us. And then we got the Spirit, the Holy Ghost. You know. So he's still here, but he's getting upset with them because these Pharisees beating up on y'all. These scribes. And y'all don't see what I've done. And what's wrong with y'all? Come on. Where's your faith? It should be stronger than what it is. And that's why he was a little upset with them. Okay? Because he said, you unbelievers, generation, show his what? Frustration with the lack of their spiritual what? Maturity. You can say something? He'll come to you. Let's go to 20. We'll go back, ain't no problem.
And they brought him unto him, and when he saw him, straightway the spirit tear him, and he fell on the ground and wallowed foaming.
Whoa. This account more clearly describes what demons are like. They're destructive. They don't have any faith. They didn't believe in Jesus. They knew who he was. More than what? Willing to kill a child. So you know they're willing to kill you because this was a little child. He wasn't a little child anymore, but he still was a young boy. They willing to kill him. Okay? Demons do not deserve your pity or understanding. They do not have any opportunity for forgiveness, and they do not want any of it. They are the enemies of God. You don't play with them. They don't have no good for you. All they want to do is destroy you. Kill, steal, and destroy. If they can do that by messing your mind up, having you leave Jesus, spiritual death, physical death, whatever, that's their job. They don't accept it. They want to be in charge. Want to be in charge, and they'll kill anybody they can. Yes, ma'am. You want to say something? Okay.
So for that verse I have, it shows how, when when the boy saw Jesus, or the spirit saw Jesus, the boy fell on the ground and wallowed. So that lets me know that the whole purpose of that whole performance was to intimidate and to get him to back off of me. Like, so again, like something we've never seen before. I'm gonna show you something that you've never seen before. So, make it seem like you can't cast me out. Like I'm
no.
bigger than what you used to.
No, the devil knew who he was. What the devil was doing was, before I leave this John my gun, I'm gonna snatch him all over this place. I'm gonna get my last little jerk out of him. Because the devil devil have to listen to Jesus when he's there.
So you're saying.
The devil's gonna leave, but I'm gonna beat this joke up a little more before I leave.
So you're saying that the reason why he put on a performance is because he knew his time was up.
Jesus gonna get him out of there.
And I'm gonna get as much. I'm
Yeah,
about to get.
I
Okay,
see
okay.
Jesus, because they knew who Jesus was. Because remember, we threw out, they said, hey, well, remember one time they was praying, somebody out there praying, and the devil rose up in him and said, I know Jesus. I know them. I know them. Who are you? And remember, made him strip off his clothes, ran on the street butt naked. So Jesus they know who Jesus is. They know where Jesus come from. But what they don't know is when their time is going to be up.
So they automatically knew when they saw him, time's up. Okay.
Well, for that issue. But they don't know when they're going to be cast into hell. Nobody goes to hell. You're going to be cast into hell. That's the place God really made for the devils. But if you want to join him, it's wide open for you. He prefer that you don't.
So I have a question. Do you think that applies today when God is preparing to show up in our situation? That's when the enemy shows up, cuts up the most?
Sure he will.
Yeah, okay, because he can see that God is about to do something.
If you get the Spirit of the Lord in you and you jumping all over the place, that's because something in you don't want to get out of you. It's a conflict, spiritual conflict. Jesus ain't going to hurt you, make you break your neck to accept him. He ain't going to hurt you. But when you see him jerking and going through it, you got to watch him, because some don't want to leave him. And I'm trying to get my last little shake out of him. You know what I'm talking about? Little rag doll, shake, shake, shake. All right. Okay. And what? And we know they're enemies. Where are we at, 21?
Mm-hmm.
All right, 21.
And he asked his father, how long is it ago since this came unto him? And he said, of a child.
Okay, now, here Jesus asks the daddy, how long has he been going through this? Why would Jesus ask him how long? What?
To question his delay. Why would he delay?
Why would he ask the father, how long has he been having these problems?
That question, why, to question father, the question.
Then he did, said, verse 21. And he asked his father, Jesus asked his father,
Right.
how long is it ago since this came unto him? And he said, of a child.
So I was just saying, was it to bring to his attention that he dealt with that for that long? Like, you literally dealt with that for that long?
Well, he did deal with it for long. But Jesus' point is, he's asking, everybody that got a problem don't mean they got a demon in them. When the woman had this 12 years of blood, did she have a demon? No. She had a medical problem. There's things people have called seizures. Does that mean they got the devil? No. No, it's a brain disorder that causes them what? Have convulsions. You with me? Yeah. Certain things. So Jesus, remember, this is for the history for us. That's why you see somebody, and then you try to make it clear is everybody that's got a problem don't have a demon in them. Some people, sin came into the world. We all gonna die because of what? Adam let sin in. But everybody who has a problem don't mean they got a devil. They could have a medical problem. You with me?
Yes.
So even I didn't put no verse on board.
That was 21.
Even when Jesus, I should have put this one verse. When Jesus was healing people, Scripture said he healed the blind,
Mm-hmm.
the ones who couldn't speak, the sick, the ones who had demons, and the ones who had convulsions. So those are different things. You with me? Some had a demon, and then they healed some who didn't. They just was sick. But in this case here, it's different. But he wants people to understand that if your cousin's sick, you tell him, oh, he got a demon, oh, get him out of here. No, he could be just sick. Because you observe, if somebody got a demon in them, they are not in control of doing something to hurt themselves. If they want to hurt themselves, you're going to have a mental problem that cause you I'm going to hurt myself. You know what I mean? I got a mental, I'm having seizures, but no, since I have seizures, I'm going to go jump off the roof. No, that's something wrong with you. You follow what I'm saying? The sickness don't tell you to go jump off a roof. The sickness don't tell you to go put your butt in fire, like this guy was doing. The sickness don't tell you to go jump in the river and drown myself. He's trying to say this is different. You know what I mean? And he done that in other scriptures. He showed that he just wanted to see, and get people to understand that don't mean everybody got a demon, don't mean they don't have one either. Okay, but he wanted them to understand that's the difference. And that's why he asked, how long had this been with him? And the guy said, what? Ever since he's a child. And the difference of two conditions is what? Jesus healed people. The gospel are carefully distinguished between physical conditions and demonic conditions. Two different ones. When the girl died, young girl died, was that a demon killed her? Jesus raised her from the dead. Was that because she had a demon in her? No. She just died from some of sickness.
Yes, but a lot of the sicknesses, especially during that time, were associated with a sin.
Okay, let me tell you something.
Mm-hmm.
There's nothing new. Jesus said there's nothing new under the sun. Every sickness that they had back then, you're going to have it today. They just didn't know how to diagnose what it was. People died of cancer 2,000 years ago. When they bring their mummy, it's they had cancer because they ate up a certain part of it. So there's no disease new. You just got to know the difference. Is it a sickness or is it what? The devil. And sometimes you can't tell. You got to get somebody else to go help you. You know what I mean? Because Brother CECIL just might be crazy as Cooter Brown. He ain't got no demon. He's just stupid, crazy. You know what I mean? So you can't look at everybody being a demon, because you just can't. They are, but everybody may not have it who you think they have it. In this case where Jesus wanted people to understand the difference. No, he ain't got a demon. This joker need medicine. You sitting right here, no, you need to go to the doctor. Ask Lord first, and then go to the doctor. Then they find out, you got a tumor on your brain. You follow me? You had a tumor. That's why they've been acting. Not no demon. They sick. You follow me? In certain conditions back then, they didn't have medicine for. They did have a lot of medicine, don't get me wrong now. They did. They done surgery too on people. But it wasn't as good as it is, advanced as it is today. Egyptians operate on people, brains, but it just wasn't advanced. Okay, so what I'm trying to say is, you see somebody got something, don't mean they got the demon in them. You know what I mean? Because you can have a demon and you just as cool and calm and you say, yeah, something wrong with him. And that be the demon sitting right there telling you. He cuts up when he wants to. You want to see if you got one, you know you're dealing with Jesus. He'll let you know. He'll start something in you. Try to get you to what? Fall. Twist your mind up. Right? But one thing about this boy daddy, he knew this boy had something. So it showed that he did have some type of understanding. And Jesus just wanted to what? Clarify that you're right, but don't mean everybody you see like this, what? Has a demon in them. Okay? All right, what verse are we at? 22?
And oftentimes it has cast him into the fire and into the waters to destroy him. But if thou canst do anything, have compassion on us and help us.
That was 22, right? Okay, now he said that he done what? He said he throws him in the water, try to drown him. Then he tried to throw him in the fire to burn himself. You know what I mean? And Jesus said, wait a minute now. If you sick, sickness don't cause people to do this. You know what I mean? I don't care how sick I be, and I ain't really thought about jumping in no fire. Have you all? If you did, so maybe something wrong. Have you ever thought about burning yourself up? No, I've been that sick, trying to live. Yeah, and you know, a lot of them want it for attention too. You know, like, I'm going to commit suicide. Okay, go and do it. We'll see you after. I'm gonna jump off this building. There's only one floor up. You don't break your leg. You know, sometimes people got problems, mental problems. Okay, so that's what Jesus emphasized here. In what's that? In 22, that what? You say have compassion on what?
But if thou canst do anything, have compassion on us and help us.
Now look what this guy said. If you, Jesus, can do anything, if he done lost the faith, the flaky there, isn't it? Because he said, if you can do anything, heal my son and have compassion on us. If you can do it. That wasn't too good, was it? Telling Jesus, because your other 9 guys sure couldn't do nothing. So if you can.
But I feel like he was doing Jesus a favor, like putting him in a box. You know, you may not be able to cast the devil out.
How you gonna do Jesus a favor?
But if we do God that, like we limit our faith and say, well, even if you if you can't do this, could you at least do that? Like we try and make modifications, and Jesus has to speak up and say, I could do anything. You know, so I feel like you're putting a limitation. Like even if you can't heal him, could you at least have compassion on us and help us do something with him? Even if you can't cast this devil out? That's what I get from it.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what I get from it.
Well, demons, they want to harm God's creation, not do nothing for it. So this demon wants to what? Harm him. Destroy him. Make him throw himself in fire. Make him try to drown himself. And he said if, because he had just saw his 9 disciples, they couldn't do it. They couldn't do it. And he knew about it because he wouldn't have came to Jesus. They couldn't do it. And Jesus got a little mad at them. They couldn't do it. And if you can, that means that guy got a little ticked, didn't it? Huh? He got ticked because about the 12 couldn't, other 9, he a little mad with Jesus. Well, if you can, do this. Now, it doesn't mean, like I said, it doesn't mean people have seizures and try to hurt themselves. You know what I mean? But normally people, they ain't going to throw themselves in no fire, man, or do other stuff. So there was an act of demon, right? So the father doubted him, because if you look at verse 18, which said, and whosoever he taketh him, he tears him, and he foams, and gritteth with his teeth in penance of way. And I spake unto my disciples, and they could not cast him out. They couldn't do nothing. So he thinking about all them 9 guys that prayed for my son, 9 of them, and they couldn't do nothing. Now, if you can you do this? Don't you think he was frustrated?
Yeah.
9 people getting. I'll try Peter. Wasn't Peter there though, but I'll try. Next guy tried. All 9 of them couldn't do nothing. So sure, he looked what? Discouraged.
Upset.
Wouldn't you? He didn't cuss Jesus. He just said, well, if you can, because we're looking, I don't know. All right, let's go to verse what?
24.
24? 23.
Okay. And Jesus said unto him, if thou believe, all things are possible to him that believeth.
Okay, now he just told the guy what? If you can, what? Believe.
Believe.
If you can.
Right. Believe in me.
That all things, if you believe all things are possible, he encourages faith even though. So the guys, he's encouraging the guy's faith, right?
Yes.
Encouraging his faith, even amidst that. The guy missed that what? He said, well, all things are possible. Jesus said, all things are possible. That doesn't mean every time somebody prays for you, it's guaranteed you're going to be healed. You don't know. Especially if God put it on you. God put it on you, he take it off when he's ready. So it doesn't mean that you're going to get healed from it. But what it does is, and he said, well, why pray? Okay. It makes you involved in Jesus' decision. It builds your spiritual faith when you pray. God wants to heal, but he wants you to do it with him. Because he said what? If you can believe, he wants you to work too. Because remember, he said he couldn't, one place Jesus couldn't heal nobody. You know why? Unbelief. I knew this little joke and he wore diapers running around here throwing rocks. They knew him, so they couldn't what? Accept he was the Son of God. People probably can't accept I'm up here talking about Sunday school in Cincinnati. They saw me. Not him. Not the things we done 50 years ago. You know what I mean? But here he is talking about he's the Son of God. So you got to believe. You got to have faith. Because without it, God can't work with you. So he told them they need to build their faith up, right? So he said, but that don't mean everybody's going to be healed now. They just build a relationship with God. Pray and asking God. You developing a relationship. And if he doesn't, can't freak out and leave him. What if Jesus didn't go to the cross and die? Jesus did ask, was it another way? He didn't say, I won't die. He just said, what? Can I die another way? Because this stuff they've been to do to me is, remember, he in the flesh. This stuff going to hurt. But then the angels come talk to him, remember, minister to him. And he said, okay, not my will, but your will. And you look at something like that, to know that you're born to come to the world to die for who you created. My creation going to kill me. And I really can create some more. But it wouldn't. For us, he had to accept death. Now, if somebody told me you're going to die next week, CECIL, for who? For that joker just robbed the bank and them guys molesting them kids? Not me. I ain't ready for that. But he did. He died for everybody. And then remember at the end, he said, Father, forgive them, because they don't know what they're doing. But I had to do this. So don't hold it against them. He even blessed them to the end. You know why he blessed them? Because who killed Jesus? Who killed Jesus? God killed him. God killed Jesus. Prepare the body. You're going into the world. You got to die for these people. God killed him. He had to die for us. Yes, ma'am. Give her a mic. No, give her a mic. It's for people who might be listening, ma'am. People might be listening.
So it's Elder Wheelwright.
Mm-hmm.
So would it be safe to say that God didn't kill him, but he allowed him to be killed?
He killed him in the flesh. He didn't really kill him in the spirit.
True that.
He killed the flesh.
But when we look at it, it's like sometimes we're going through and we want to say, Lord, why this, or Lord, why that? But if we look back at the story of Job, the Lord God asked Satan, whence cometh thou? And then he said, going to and fro.
Yeah.
And he said, hast thou considered my servant Job?
Okay, we're not going. We got to finish these verses.
Okay.
But we understand what you're saying. But my point is, Jesus, and he done it voluntarily. He didn't have to die. He didn't have to die. Because one while, Pharaoh got scared God was going to kill the Israelites. He thought he was convincing God not to, and told him, well, Egypt's going to say your brother's out here to kill us. Because they're acting crazy. Okay? All right, let's go to verse what? 20 what? 24? All right.
And straightway the father of the child cried out and said with tears, Lord, I believe, help thou my unbelief.
It's just like what the lady was just saying. We believe. He know they have been doing this, but now your 9 or your apostle that you don't chose can't run this out. My belief is getting a little flaky here. Huh? It's getting, a little flaky. And he was honest enough to say that.
Yes.
He said, I believe. But I'm struggling right now because he's adding, if you can do it. Jesus got all power. Well, he hadn't got all power yet, but you know what I'm talking about. So his belief is fading because he don't saw his people can't do it. So he said, now help my unbelief.
Yeah.
Help my unbelief, because when I just saw these other 9, I'm not all here now. Huh? So he asked him, right? And then he said, help me. He asked for help.
Tears, my God.
Yeah. He cried and asked for help, right? But he knew that Jesus can do it. In the way he felt about his son, this guy loved his son. He saw he'd do anything for his son, and yet he still kept his temper. So he crying and asking if Jesus can what? If he can look at us the way I look at my son, have mercy on my son and us. He was pleading to what? Like a father to a father. The way Jesus cared about us. Because he did, he came to the world to die for us. He said, no other greater love is to what? To lay down your life for what? Okay. All right, let's go to verse 25.
When Jesus saw that the people came running together, he rebuked the foul spirit, saying unto him, Thou dumb and deaf spirit, I charge thee, come out of him and enter no more into him.
So this showed the what? Now, first of all, Jesus said what? You dumb, deaf spirit, get out. And what else he said at the end of that?
And enter no more into him.
And he told that devil, don't you come back to him again. You know why he said that? Because sometimes when people got the demon kicked out, demon come hanging around, they see if the house is cleaned up. And then he said, all right, come on, boys. He brings, remember, the Bible said what? He brought 7 more, just as bad as he is, peeping around. But Jesus told him what? Don't you come back here in him again.
Yeah, I had a question on that one, but I had a question for verse 9, 25. So my question was, and then I could just go ahead with the answer. So my question was,
You got an answer to it too?
I think so. And I think you spoke to it earlier, but anyway.
Go ahead, sir.
Why did Jesus rebuke the unclean spirits when he saw the crowd gathering? So I think you mentioned it earlier. Why did Jesus rebuke the unclean spirits when he saw the crowd gathering? And you spoke to it earlier. So.
Well, yeah. Remember, the Pharisees don't stir the people up already. Now the people getting, now here they all running around. Let's see what you're going to do. Been to make another big issue. So he said, come on, get on out of here, demon. Leave this man, and don't you come back here neither again. Because I'm going to have a problem with these people. That's why I think he done it. Because he saw the crowd was coming. Now they're circling around him to see what he going to do.
He going to do. Yeah, I like that too.
Okay.
So I had, I saw it from a spiritual perspective too. And I just had, was it because the demonic spirit performed not just to intimidate, but so that others could see him and talk about him. So he was putting on a show so other people could say, ooh, he did. The enemy does that. So I have, this verse shows the enemy's interest in doing something in front of a lot of people so that people will leave talking about him and spreading news about him.
Yeah.
That's what I have.
I know that's a commentary said.
No, that's what I, no.
That's what you
what
said?
I received from the verse, that Satan does stuff in front of people.
Well, you're the commentary on that.
I'm the comment. That's what I received from that verse. That's what he does. He does.
What he done was he showed that he is supreme. Even devils had to listen to him.
Oh, Jesus showed that. Yeah.
Even the devil had to listen to him. Told him he didn't have to pray in 15 minutes. He said what? The word. Remember, Jesus was the word. Mm-hmm. And the word was what? God. And the word was what? God. God just told that demon, get out of here and don't come back to him again. He's in control. Where you got a problem at, if you got, and he's telling the other guy, more faith. More faith. All right, let's take the last verse.
26 and 27.
26, get 26.
But the spirit cried and rent him sore and came out of him, and he was as one dead, in so much that many said, he is dead.
So the spirit left him. Everybody thought the guy was dead. Mm-hmm. He collapsed. One moving, one convulsion, one doing what he used to do. So the crowd assumed he was what? Dead. Now take the last verse, 27.
But that Jesus took him by the hand and lifted him up, and he arose.
So Jesus showed what?
That he was fine.
So lack of faith and power. Jesus' disciple had a lack of faith, but when the faith with God is absolute. If you got faith, it doesn't mean he's going to do everything, but he'll sure work with you. Because I'm telling you something, there's a lot of stuff we don't understand. Sometimes Jesus won't do nothing because we don't know. He might heal you. He might go out there and try to kill somebody. We don't know what he sees. You know what I mean? Jesus ain't going to heal nobody if he sees they're going to do some wrong later on. Because they might lose his soul. We don't see this stuff. Heal my Uncle Mike. Well, your Uncle Mike used to rob stores. And, heal my Uncle Mike. I think he may not be, because he might rob another store later on and kill somebody. We don't know. Mm-hmm. But if you got faith in him, Jesus knows. Okay? And got 3 minutes to go. Any questions?
27. No, we didn't read 28 and 29. No.
We didn't do. I'm sorry. Read 28, 29.
I could. And when he was coming to the house, his disciples asked him privately, "Why could not we cast him out?"
Okay. And he answered and said what? And
he said unto them, "This kind can come forth by nothing but by prayer and fasting."
Prayer and fasting. And what does that do? That just builds up what? More faith. You know what I mean? More faith. Showing that you want God to intervene. Help me. And it's like a little sacrifice. Prayer, fasting, denying the body, yes. Dealing with the spirit. Mm-hmm. Okay? All right. Thank you. Any other question?
For that one, I just have fasting satisfies the spirit. It strengthens the spirit. Yeah.
That's good enough. All right, that concludes Sunday school for today.